Good morning, or maybe afternoon or evening. My name is Carolina. I'm going to lead you through a flow today. This should be a little bit difficult in between, but like the beginning and the end will be relatively easy and a little bit more stretching. And then we'll get into some more intense flows and a little bit of heat building. So just make sure that the space around you is clear and you don't have anything that you're going to hit with your arms or legs. Grab some music if you want that. And as usual, grab any kind of props that you usually use. If that's a block, if that's a strap, maybe the strap is actually a towel, maybe the block is actually a book. Whatever you need. And we're going to get started on our mat. So let's bring our feet and our hips back to the back of the mat. We're going to sit back in the child's pose. Hands out in front of you, palms down towards the mat. Drop your head down. We're really just taking our time here to think about dropping our chest forward. Think about dropping the hips back towards the heels. And so you're really finding the rest in this posture. You should feel your breath moving in your ribcage. You should feel the expansion of your ribcage every time that you inhale. And fill up your lungs with air. And then you should feel your body drop down a little bit farther towards the floor, towards the ground as you exhale. Really allowing the forehead to melt down into the floor. Give yourself a moment of stillness here. Really focusing your thoughts on what you're about to do or what you're doing in the current moment. So we're not thinking about what's going to happen in an hour or what we did yesterday. Just thinking about right now. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to walk the hands back up and come to seated. Let's take some wrist rolls here. And while you're seated here, make sure you still have a tall spine and you're not slouching. We want to make sure that our posture is good throughout our practice, so that we're not only thinking about our posture when we're seated, but also when we're doing active things, that our body naturally likes that position and naturally goes to that position more often. Awesome. Shake out the hands. We're going to bring the hands forward onto the mat. And you want to make sure you're a little bit larger position than a regular tabletop. So your hands should be forward away from your shoulders. We're going to bring our body forward over our hands. Feel that lower belly come in. And then press back actively towards our heels. Again, bring the body forward. Exhaling back. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. We're going to do a few more of those and keep thinking about this as an active press. Your hands are pressing you back and your feet and your hips are pressing you forward. So you're really starting to warm up the entire body here, especially those larger muscles. And then we're going to take this in a circle. This doesn't have to be quite as active. We just want to warm up our hips a little bit and our wrists a little bit. Again, still thinking about that lower belly space. You want to make sure you're not collapsing the lower belly and you're keeping it active and stable here. Let's take those circles in the opposite direction. Make sure you're still breathing in and out. Your choice of where that happens in your circle, but make sure it happens. Let's take one more. And come back to stillness, untuck the toes, just tap the tops of the feet on the mat. Walk the hands back, so the hands are actually under the shoulders now. And we'll move through cat and cow, inhaling to look up. Tailbone reaches up. Chest reaches forward, exhaling round and back slowly. Inhaling to look up. Exhaling, rounding the back. This feels super good in the mornings, which is when I'm doing this right now. So my body's a little bit stiff, so this should feel really nice on your back, on the hips, and on the shoulders if your body is stiff. And maybe that's just from sitting today. Maybe that is just because you got up in the morning and you're starting your day with some yoga. And come back to center. We're going to walk the hands forward and come into our first downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under. Reach the hips back and up. Oof, definitely feeling tight this morning. Wherever you are in your practice, make sure that you take a moment here to walk through the feet, come up onto the toes and reach the heel down towards the mat. Check in with your downward facing dog. Shake out the head. Make sure that you're looking back at your feet. The hands are pressed down into the mat firmly. The heels are trying to do the same thing. If you can't quite reach your heels down towards the mat, just take a gentle bend in the knees here so you can reach your hips up even more. You can tilt your pelvis forward more. Deep breath in and out. Then we're going to look forward and walk the feet slowly up to the hands. Bending the knees gently, take a sway side to side. Giving some release to that lower back to the neck. Maybe even take your hands together behind the back of your head and just gently, using gravity, kind of press down on the head. Deep breaths in and out. And drop the hands back down. Slowly roll up to standing. Start to straighten the legs as you come up. Tuck the tailbone under. Ground the feet, inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, hands towards center. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, forward fold over the legs, diving down. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, back down. We're going to step the right foot back. I'm going to drop the knee down and toe heel that left foot out, just opening up, starting all ready to open up the hips here to find that external rotation. And you're welcome to press gently against that left knee and open up that leg even more. Maybe finding some movement in this position here. Really still pressing the right hip forward as well. So you're getting a nice stretch through the front of the right leg, through those hip flexors. And then toe heel that foot back in. I'm going to face the other way away from you guys. So we're going to turn onto our right heel and we're going to face the right side of our mat. You might want to walk this right foot forward a little bit. And then if you cannot put your left heel down, just come up onto your left toes and raise your left heel up slightly. Your right toes are towards the ceiling. You're going to make sure you're finding that external rotation. So you're really feeling your hips both dialing down towards the floor. Deep breath in and out. Now we're going to bring our right foot in slightly, bend both knees and come up into a goddess. Already a little bit of heat building here. You're open to bring your hands either to your hips or out to the sides or into heart center. Sink down a little bit lower. Make sure you feel like your body is between two walls here and you're not sticking your butt out or sticking your chest out in front. We're going to bring our arms out to the sides, flip the palms to face up, reach both arms up, lift the gaze, exhaling, press the palms back down as you bend the knees. 3 more of those. Inhaling up, exhaling, pressing down, inhaling up, exhaling, pressing down, knees out to the sides, inhaling up, exhaling, pressing down, 1 more, inhaling up, exhaling, pressing down. Awesome work. We're going to slide over towards our right leg, bend that right leg, straighten the left leg. Same thing that we just did, but on the other side. Again, if you can't have that heel on the floor, lift it up. And you want to make sure that your toes are facing up towards the sky. So if you need to, you can move that leg forward and create a smaller angle between your legs. Deep breath in and out. And then we're going to turn to come onto the left toes, face the back of your mat. Put that left knee down, untuck the toes, toe heel the right foot out to the side. Finding that open hip on the other side. Just made 180 circle. Deep breaths in and out. Make sure if you want to, you're finding a little bit of movement here. And then toe heel the right foot back in. Lift that left knee up. Step the right foot back. Finding our first plank this morning. We're going to lower down in our chaturanga. Whatever that is for you. Either knees, chest, chin, or full chaturanga down to the ground. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Come back up either through full plank or on the knees. Downward facing dog again. Deep breath in and out. This time we're going to lift the left leg up. We're going to open up the hip. You're welcome to take some ankle rolls here if you want. Make sure that the right knee is still facing forward. You're really trying to open up that hip, trying to stretch the left hip flexors as much as possible here. And then straighten that leg back out again. Look forward. Left foot comes between the hands. This time, if you'd like to, keeping that right knee up off the ground. Toe heel the left foot out to the side. Again, opening up the hip. This time, if you'd like to, you can look back behind you. Find a twist in this position. And then toe heel that left foot back in. We're going to turn to face the other side of the mat. So we've almost completed our circle. Remember to think about the sits bones coming down towards the floor here. So you're really turning both hips out. So you want to even maybe press that left knee a little bit out and think about the right toes and the right knee going up towards the sky. So even though this looks like a passive position, it's actually pretty active. Deep breath in and out. And then starting to bring that right foot in. We're going to come up into our goddess pose again. Either hands on the hips, hands out to the sides, or hands to our center. Take a few deep breaths here. Really ground down through the heels. Really find that energy through the body, through the side body as well. Feeling lifted and tall. Deep breath in and out. Hands come out to the sides, sink down a little bit lower. Flip the palms to face up. Inhaling to reach the arms up. Exhaling, pressing down. 3 more. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Awesome work. Bring the hands down. Walk that right foot out. Straighten the left leg. Same thing on the other side. Again, if you can't put that heel down, bring it up. The most important thing is that both hips are turning out. Left toes up towards the sky. Left sits bone down towards the floor. The legs are rotating out away from each other, which is kind of unusual. Usually we're trying to bring both legs in towards each other. But in this case, as much external rotation as possible here. And then we're going to turn to face the front of the mat. Full circle here. Keep that left knee up. If you can, walk that right foot out. Looking back behind you as you open up the right leg. Maybe again bringing some movement into this position. And then toe heel that right foot back in. We're going to place both hands down on the floor, pressing down through both hands so you can lift the right foot up off the ground and reach the right foot up and back. 3-legged dog. Open up that hip. Deep breath in and out. Again, we can take some ankle rolls here. Really pressing that left heel down into the mat. And then straighten that leg back out. And bring the right foot down slowly, downward facing dog. Deep breaths in. Alright, let's continue our flow. We're going to bring the right leg up this time again. Open up the hip. If you have wild thing in your practice, you're welcome to do that here for a moment. Take a few breaths here. Keep opening up the back of the left leg. Keep thinking about both shoulders still square here. And straighten that leg out. We're going to bring that foot forward between the hands. Inhale the arms up. Deep breath in and out. Sink down a little bit lower. You're going to bend that back leg so you can find that nice upright feeling in this left hip so you're not tilting the body forward. Deep breath in and out. Then we're going to open up into our warrior two. A little bit more external rotation here. Both hands reaching out away from the body. Length through the sides, still length through the arms, length through the top of the head. Then deeper into warrior two. Deep breath in and out. Bring your right elbow to that right knee. Reach the left arm up and over. Side angle, long pose here through the side body. Reaching through that left hand. Still finding that openness through the right knee. We're going to drop both hands down to the floor. Toe heel that right foot out slightly. And come back to our squat position here. Again, still thinking about that external rotation. Left toes are pointing up, left knee is pointing up as much as you can. And then walking the hands into the center. Left foot comes in, right foot comes in, getting ready for our goddess pose. Length through the side body, and length through the top of the head, and the tailbone reaches down. Deep breath in and out. Flipping the palms, reaching the palms up together, inhaling up. Exhaling, pressing the air down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Dropping the hands down to the mat, flipping the heels out, toes forward, drop the head, shake out the head here, wide-legged forward fold. Maybe take some sways side to side. And then we're going to walk the hands over towards the left foot, bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Find that position for yourself, wherever that is. Both legs are turning out. And then we're going to come up into our warrior two, so slowly inch that left foot into the center of the mat. The outside of the right foot is pressing down. Warrior two on the other side. Almost made a 180. Last thing that we're going to do on the side, sinking down a little bit lower. We're going to reach forward. Now this is where you might need your block, but I believe in you and I think you can also do it without your block. You're going to reach forward and you're going to drag the right toes against the mat to come up into your half moon. So this is a lot about external rotation here in this left hip. Really grounding the left foot down. Now if you need to, you can place the left fingertips down on the floor. But the best position to be in here is to have your right foot flexed. Energy out through that right foot, and energy out through both hands so you can find that long line through the upper body as well. Deep breath in and out. Bring your left hand down. Bend the left leg. Reach the right toes back slowly. Find your warrior two. We're going to reverse the warrior two here. Oh, that probably feels great. I hope it does for you too. And then both hands will kneel down. Step the left foot back. Lower down through your chaturanga. Inhaling up, shoulders are down and back. Opening up through the chest, exhaling back down. Coming back up, do full plank or plank on the knees. Now we're going to take that circle, but we're going to go in the opposite direction so we get both legs. So we're going to reach the left leg up, open up that hip. Keep pressing the back of the right leg towards the back of the mat. Keep pressing that heel down, and keep opening up and pressing through the front of that left hip. Maybe some ankle rolls here. And then straightening that out. And bring that left foot forward between the hands. Inhaling the arms up. Again, if you need to, you can slightly bend that right leg, and that helps find that upright feeling in this right hip. sinking down a little bit lower. And then opening up, warrior two. Familiar position, hopefully. Finding that stance. Heels should be lined up about the arch of your foot. Left toe is pointed straight forward. Make sure that left knee is turned out and open. Energy through both fingertips. Deep breath in. Now we're going to take our side angle. Left elbow to the left knee. Reach the right arm up over the head. Deep breath in. Leg through that right arm. And then dropping both hands back down. Sinking into that left hip. Right leg straightens out, right toes up. You should be getting pretty familiar with this position now. Bending that right leg, bringing it in closer. Guess what we're doing next? We're going to come into goddess. Arms come out to the sides. You know what we're doing? Palms flip up. We're reaching the arms up. Exhaling the arms back down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Good work. Hands come down to the mat. Heels face away. Toes face forward. Drop the head down. Deep breath in. You're going to walk the hands back over towards the right foot. Turn the right toes out. Bend the left leg. Deep breaths in and out. And then we're going to come back up to our warrior two. Toe heel that right foot back in. And both arms back up. Looking forward over that right hand. One more thing here, you know what's coming. Bend deeper into this right leg. And then you're going to press off or drag that left toe as you come forward towards your half moon. The goal again is to have that arm up off the ground, but if you need to, you can place your fingertips down, or better yet, place your hand gently and lightly on a block. You don't want to rely on it too much. Opening up through the shoulders here, energy out through both fingertips. Flexing that left foot. And then bending the right leg, reaching the left toes back. And take a reverse warrior here. That should feel really great on that right side. Inhaling back up. Exhaling, both hands come down. Step the right foot back. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Pressing back up. And back towards the hands. Awesome work. We're going to do that again. We want to do it faster, 1 breath per movement. So take another 2 or 3 breaths here. Get ready. Maybe slowing down your breathing a little bit before you move into our next flow. Inhaling the right leg up. Open up the hip and the knee. Straighten the leg back out. Step that foot forward. Warrior two immediately. 1 breath in. As you exhale, come into that side angle. Left arm up over the head, reaching through the left hand. Drop both hands down. Toe heel the right foot out. Lunging into that right leg. Bring the hands to the center. Both legs are in a lunge. Arms reach out to the sides. We're going to skip our repeated motions. Hands come back down. Toes come in the front, heels go back. Deep breath in and out. Walk the hands over to the left, bend the left knee, turn the left toes out, right toes come up. Walking that right foot back. Coming up into our warrior two on the other side. Getting ready for our half moon. Reach the left arm forward, drag the right toes. Slowly start to straighten that left leg. Keep that opening through the hips that we had in our warrior two. Bend the left leg. Reach the right toes back. Warrior two. Reverse warrior two. Inhaling back up. Exhaling, both hands come down. Step the left foot back. Lowering down through chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Coming all the way up and back. Awesome work. Ready for the other side. Here we go. Left leg reaches up. Opening up the hip. Stretching the leg back out. Stepping the left foot forward. Open up to your warrior two, grounding into the outside edge of that right foot. Exhaling, coming into your side angle. Reaching through that right arm. hands come down. Dropping down into that left hip, straightening out right leg. Starting to bend that right knee. Coming up into your goddess. Exhaling, hands come back down. Heels turn out to the sides, toes turn forward. Drop the head, shake it out. Turn the right toes out to the side. Left toes come up towards the sky here. Find that external rotation. Round that left foot down, right foot down. Inhaling up, warrior two. Sinking out a little bit lower, reaching the right fingers forward. And coming up onto that right foot. Open shoulders. Bending into the right knee. Stepping the left toes back. Finding that warrior two. Reaching back, reverse warrior two. Inhaling back up. Exhaling both hands down. Step the right foot back. Lowering down. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Coming back up. Back to downward facing dog. Alright, take 2 or 3 breaths here. Deep breaths in and out. And drop the knees down into the mat. Untuck the toes, walk the hands back. Good work there. Hopefully you worked up your breathing a little bit, built some heat in your body, especially on that last flow that was faster. We're going to do one short arm balance here. This one's crow. This one shouldn't be too hard now that your hips are pretty open. So you do have pretty open hips in this position. You want to come into a wide-legged squat. So whether your heels are up or down, doesn't really matter here. You want to make sure, again, same kind of thing, your knees are pointed out to the sides. Your hands are going to come forward, and this is important. Make sure that they're actually forward of you and not underneath you. If they're underneath you, you have nowhere to go. So your hands have to be forward. I know that seems a little bit scary, but you have to have somewhere for your body to go when you get into this position. You want to make sure that also you're thinking about as if you were in a plank. So you're going to really press into the hands and lift the shoulders up. You're going to lift your hips up to begin, and then you're going to bring your weight forward so your shoulders are up over your hands and wrists. Come up onto your toes, and then the knees come up either onto the triceps or onto the elbow. And then see if you can slowly bring one foot or both feet up off the mat. Same way that you got in, slowly lower out. Now if you want to just take this slowly, you can rock forward and kind of bring your weight forward over your hands and wrists, and then rock back and just see how that feels. Take that a few times. Now if you're a more advanced yogi here, you can go into our advanced crow, also known as crane, which has both feet together and your hands are down. And this one has a little bit less of that external rotation, which is part of why it's harder, but you also want to make sure that your arms are more straight in this position. Same thing, your hands are forward, come up onto the toes, knees come over the triceps, and then weight over the hands. Same kind of thing. Now whichever one you decided to do, let's stretch out the wrists a little bit. So the tops of the hands come down to the mat, palms facing up towards you. Just take a little bit of motion forward and back. And then we're going to do another stretch to open up the hips a little bit more passively. This is a frog stretch. So you're going to come down onto your belly. And then 2 options here. You can either do one leg at a time, which will look like this, or both legs, which will look like this. Walking forward a little bit on my mat here. So you can either make this active or passive. If you want to make it more active, you can press your hips down towards the floor, and you can start to bring your feet together. If you want to make it more passive, just bring your hands down onto the mat or onto the floor, bring your forehead down onto your hands, and just rest here and let gravity kind of do the work. Make sure that whichever position you're in, you're flexing your feet. If you did one leg at a time, let's switch legs to the other side now. Take 2 more breaths here. And slowly come back up onto the hands. Bring your legs in. Bring your feet back behind you. We're going to press back into a child's pose, knees wide. And finishing class how we started. You're welcome to stay here for longer. You're also welcome to come into your regular traditional Shavasana on your back, whatever you'd like to do. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you got a little bit more mobility in your hips, a little bit more feeling of what external rotation is like, and a little bit of balance is in there. So hope this is a good class for your morning or your evening or midday. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.